is Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares. Now, as I mentioned in the angle, Mr. Attorney General, you announced today that you're investigating a story we've been in front of, which is Thomas Jefferson High School in Fairfax County, Virginia. It's a school known for the talented and gifted students. They're intentionally withholding knowledge of National Merit Scholarship Awards from the students who received them, who needed the information to use on their college applications, I guess all in the name of equity. What are we learning?
Well, listen, thank you so much for having me. I mean, the first public reports of this were candidly shocking. This was particularly resonant for me as the only person ever elected as a child of an immigrant as Attorney General. I know for the immigrant story, so many, education is the doorway to American success. And Thomas Jefferson High School is considered one of the best high schools in the entire country. And it's majority minority. But as we saw, not just with the national merit, but also so many concerned parents in the Asian American community felt like their children were losing their dreams and aspirations. And that's what's so heartbreaking, is that so many that come here that are immigrants, their children are living dreams that were denied them. And so education is the pathway to the American dream. And so we're actually conducting investigation in two areas where the national merit recognition denied to any of these students based on their race or ethnic background. And then the admissions policy at Thomas Jefferson High School was changed quite recently, and we saw a huge drop in enrollment in Asian American students. And as one mom told me, listen, my daughter has done everything right since the first grade, and I'm having to sit down with her and tell her, you may lose your dream of attending Thomas Jefferson High School, not because of anything you've done, but simply what your background is, the fact that you're Korean American. That should outrage every American. That's why we're conducting a Virginia human rights investigation. That's our anti-discrimination statute in Virginia, and we're tackling to get to the answers of what happened.
It looks like the offers to Asian students, this is according to the Washington Post today, dropped from the typical 70% to 55%. That's just in 1 year. That's weird.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was a 20-point drop. Yeah. Well, I think what you're seeing nationally, you're seeing this all over the country, it seems like the only state-sanctioned form of bigotry in America today is anti-Asian bigotry. And I feel like a lot of Asian Americans are similar where Jewish Americans were 100 years ago in the 1920s and 30s, when you had elite institutions, elite places of higher learning and schools that were capping and denying admission to Jewish American students simply because of their ethnic background. It was wrong 100 years ago, Laura. It's wrong now. And so that's why we have the Office of Civil Rights in my Attorney General's office, because we're going to root out that discrimination, and that's our goal here, is to get to these answers.
This is awesome, Mr. Attorney General. I'm so glad you're doing this. And by the way, of course, they're going to say a lot of this is because of equity concerns. That's the new lingo they're using. And we're learning also that the principal at this school is paying a contractor $631,000 for, quote, equity training that includes a controversial equity-centered strategic plan with the goal that equal outcomes for every student take place without exception. Now, this is a school for gifted students. I probably wouldn't have been able to get in there, Jason. So, but they're paying over $500,000 to learn about equal outcomes for all students. How does that compute at all?
Well, Laura, equity without excellence is emptiness. And that's part of the reason why we're conducting this investigation. Anybody that's part of my team, whether it's investigating Loudoun County, the parole board, or this, we ask them to be fearless, and we ask them to be deliberate. And so we are going to go ahead. We're going to be, hopefully they will cooperate with us, but if not, we have subpoena powers. We're going to do that deliberate review of what exactly is happening, because to get to the right answers, you have to be willing to ask the tough questions. We're going to be asking those tough questions and getting answers for the Commonwealth of Virginia on this.
Well, if you get ahead of this equity nightmare and expose it for what it is, because it sounds great, right? When you hear, oh, equity, who's not in favor of equity? But it means discrimination. And I'm so glad you're on this. I hope other attorneys general follow suit. Mr. Attorney General, thank you so much.